was Eric
I'll say
Michael
Texas.
Moore.
I don't know.
Jordan, you're on
And your
97.
two sisters, Carrie Lynn and Kathy Ann.
Yeah.
Yep, looks like we're gonna be losers today.
Oh,
Jordan, you know what? You said it best. This is a young man's game. And yeah, with him being under 40, chances are he knows the lingo, he knows the music, he knows a lot that you feel more comfortable rather than, you know, basically being recruited by your grandfather.
And my thing about it is I know obviously we're going to lose some Stafford. I think that Minter was probably going to leave regardless of if Harbaugh was staying or not. I think he was going to go to the NFL regardless, depending on what happened with McDonald. Jay Harbaugh is the man. That's just a Harbaugh guy. I think what it's going to come down to for Sherrone Moore for the next few years, it's not going to be winning the national title. It's going to be how do we perform against Michigan State and how do we perform against Ohio State. We're coming out there and we're getting blown out by Ohio State. He's not going to stick around for very long, probably. He can come out there and, obviously the first year I think it's going to be a struggle regardless, and we're probably not going to beat Ohio State this year. But, if he can come out and hold his own and then, get a chance to get his system in place and his guys there, then, we'll see what happens from there. But I think that's what it's going to come down to when it comes for Sherrone Moore. It's how he performs.
Yeah, Jordan,
those two teams.
Jordan, you sound like a Michigan fan, so I would say, would it be safer to say that if he made the playoffs, because it's 12 teams, 2 out of 3 years, the next 3 years, he's safe?
Yeah.
So
Or
in 2
is it
weeks
simply
we should
you got a
have
winning record
our
against
new
Ohio
key
State
bottle.
the next 3
It's
years?
true.
That'll keep your job.
Why
Now, he's
did
already
he
got
call
one
you
in the
Eric
books.
Michael Moore?
So
Yeah, I don't know.
if he goes out there and
Your
wins
two
again, I
sisters,
think he
Carrie
can. But if he
Lynn and
loses next
Kathy
time,
Ann.
Right.
But does he really have one in the
Not
book?
Eric Michael.
When Jim Harbaugh was coaching,
Carrie Lynn
all
and Kathy
getting the game
Ann.
plan together.
And
Gregory Allen.
David Lynn.
Julia Lynn.
Okay, so
Just saying.
no. Okay, so starting this year,
Leslie
starting
Margaret.
this year, in his first 3 years,
And Michael
he
Wayne.
goes 2-1, makes the playoffs.
And Carrie
2 out
Lynn
of the
and
next 3
Kathy
years,
Ann.
But
Yeah.
he's 0-3 against Ohio State.
And Sherman
He's
Wayne.
not going to get the same leeway that
Sherman
Jim
Wayne
Harbaugh
and
got.
Judith Gale.
Judith
You know,
Gale.
going back to 1995,
Don't
it's
you?
going to be the first time that
When
both
she
coaches will be at
face
Michigan
How
State
dare
game,
you?
brand new coaches. Last time that happened, both of those
What about
coaches won
Joanne?
national titles.
Joanne Catherine
Lloyd
Bennett.
Carr
Yeah.
and Nick Saban. Wow. That's some good trivia right there.
That was the last, and I want to say there's only been, aside from that game, because it had to be, there's only been one coach that in their first year
And
being
Charles
the head coach of one of the
Wayne.
rival schools that won. You know who that was?
I'm not going to get that one, no.
You should.
I'm a horse football coach right now.
2020. Galvin didn't count. All right, we got a blitz
Oh,
coming
here goes
up
Ryan.
next.
Yep.
And Lions fans, I
Ryan,
have
what's
a
his middle
question.
I don't know.
Ryan.
Dealing with this upcoming weekend's game against the 49ers.
Can't remember.
Me.
We'll get to that next.
Here goes Ryan.
97.1.
Looks like we're losers now.
From the WWJ 24-hour traffic center, sponsored by Avis Ford. You'll find the accident southbound Gratiot at Connor. Cozy up to the left lane because that right one is
Don't need
completely
any
blocked by the multi-vehicle accident.
yogurt,
It involves
right?
a trailer. Of
Nope.
course, you'll find police on the scene. I'll let you know.
So
when
we
it's
don't
clear.
have to
They're not
stop.
kidding when they say they
All
can
right.
get you the absolute lowest prices and lease payments in Metro Detroit because Avis Ford has a huge inventory. Dozens and dozens of 2023 courtesy vehicles, including Broncos, F-150s, and Edges. You will love your
Checking to
Avis
make
Ford.
sure.
Call
Just wanted to
1-800-SHOP-FORD
make sure.
and Val Berry with
To
traffic.
see.
Think you know playoff football? Answer 3 questions correctly.
See if
BetMGM's
we've got enough,
challenge,
but we
and you
do,
could win
so
a
I don't
share
think
of
we
$1
have to
million
stop
in
till
bonus
Saturday.
bets. Simply log into your existing BetMGM account and access the free-to-play $1 Million Playoff Football Challenge. Then submit your entry by answering 3 questions about the Pro Football Playoffs each week. If you get all 3 correct, you could win a share of $1 million in bonus bets. Experience the playoffs like never before with BetMGM's challenge. Then keep the action going with same-game parlays, live betting, and boosted odds specials for the biggest gridiron showdowns all month long. No one does playoff football like the king of sportsbooks. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Michigan only. Existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Okay, 2 stories from Huntington customers.
And turn blinker on with your ring.
You're a woman-owned
And
business. You're growing. How does banking fit in?
Huntington feels like a part of our team, and when I got the news that we had gotten into our dream retailer, I said, Huntington is the reason that we can accept this contract. You allowed us to get here. It's something that Morgan and I...
Get more than money from your bank. Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories.
Make a change and celebrate the new year with a fresh start. Madonna University's accelerated nursing program puts you on a fast track to a career where you can impact and inspire your community. This accelerated bachelor's program is specifically designed for career changers or nursing majors looking to transfer. Begin building your future in the world of healthcare today. Search Madonna ABSN to learn more.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weak immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
And some French Red Hot.
Nah.
You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything. Hey, it's Tiki Barber. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Valenti and Rico Show is presented by Femininio Law. Go to GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to get to your phone. People are lined up. We're ready to rock. But we're going to do a little football today. Music. David.
I think it tells you I'm right. They're pushing the envelope.
I'm going to watch this team.
Can I just say pass?
In Football Today, brought to you by Hungry Howie's Flavored Crust Pizza.
Oh, my God.
So some NFL execs spoke to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler making predictions
it's
for...
Kenny.
That's me. That's this guy.
You know what he's doing? What? He's passing it along to the fellas.
I am passing along some NFL exec predictions for next year to the fellas.
Happily, Kenny passed it along.
That's right.
Okay, what do you got?
Number one, these are just broad-based predictions on players or teams or things that could happen. Number one, Russell Wilson will end up with the Raiders. They need a vet. Russell Wilson originally wanted to go to this team when he was team hunting.
Okay, my entire opinion on Russell Wilson will depend upon one thing: cost. If he takes like a Tom Brady-esque $20 million, a deal he can live up to, a deal that like makes sense, I can work my way into. 48 million, no. No. Weird Subway commercials, also no. I would say no, because the Raiders look like for the first time in a long time they're doing smart things.
Look at that.
They hired the
staring.
right coach, so it took him a long time to get there. But what would Russell Wilson bring to this team? He struggled. It wasn't like, oh, well, if you took him off of Denver, he would have barely been good. No. He was kind of the reason why Denver wasn't that great. So if I'm the Raiders, no. But Kenny, you know what? The Raiders have been doing Raider-like things all my life. So sure, why not?
I was going to say, when was the last time the Raiders didn't do a Raider thing? That happens every offseason.
Yeah, you're right.
This one I'd like to direct at you first, Rico, then Mike.
Don't you dare.
49ers roster will take
Stop
a
staring.
slight step
About
back,
the
which
pee
I'm
bottle.
for you. Execs have left for the general manager jobs in back-to-back years from that front office. That's a lot for Lynch to overcome. They'll get exposed in free agency and the draft. The NFL execs.
Did you just look at stare?
You would like to think that law of averages, it will catch up to them. Just like they're
They
able
use
to
the
seem
pee
like they
bottle.
always replenish their coordinators with another
the pee
competent
bottle.
coordinator.
About the
Yes,
bottle.
it looks like eventually it will, Kenny, but I don't know if it catches up to them this much, because I think the biggest thing they got to worry about is what are you going to do with Ayuk and what are you going to do with Brock Purdy. Everybody else is kind of locked up, and drafting, they kind of have been in that them picks type of mode, so they've given away most of their top picks. He said it all.
Are the Wings playing tonight?
He done it all.
Yep.
He said it all. He did it all. There's nothing for me to do.
Do they?
Next,
No.
The Cardinals will
Let's
make
see
a
if they play
playoff
if they
run.
play tonight or
6 picks in the
Yep.
first 3 rounds to
Yep.
improve the team. They can kill it in the draft and
They
add
play
some
at
vets in
7.
free agency. They can make a
I like Jonathan Gannon. Kyler
Against
actually
the Philadelphia
kind of rebuilt
Flyers.
his image a little bit. Played well. They need, obviously, it's no secret they need some help roster-wise. And look, the front office is getting cleaned up. To say they had some issues would be an understatement. I actually will buy that. I will buy it as well, and I think the thing that's really going to help them is you got to go and get that backup QB, because it seems like every year Kyler Murray gets injured, and then that's when the whole thing goes south. Have the backup already there, but with so many picks, Kenny, if you at least hit on
It's like Kathy and
2/3,
Carrie
you
are
hit on
still on a
4 of
cruise.
those picks, and they become starters, and 2 actually,
It's like Slaughter,
become like
Harbor,
all-pro
Bahamas.
type status. You're doing
That's
that.
where Kathy
Yeah,
and
with 6
Carrie
picks
are.
in the first 3 rounds, you can. I mean, I'm not saying
Yep.
you want to miss on picks, but one miss isn't going to cost you as bad as a team strapped.
Think about the Lions. That if you hit on certain picks, you can kind of slide that Jack Campbell pick in there until he's ready. He's not quite that branch level, but as the year progressed, he got better. But all those picks that the Lions took, look at where they are now.
This one I personally agree with. C.J. Stroud will finish top 3 in MVP voting. Great first year, and the exec said Poise is so underrated in our league, especially at QB position. He clearly has it all.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, only because the sophomore slump will kick in. Because now more and more teams will have more and more tapes. They're going to learn his tendencies, and it's going to be a lot difficult for him, because I think it was the Q factor coming out like, oh, okay, well, I don't think that he could be this.
That's a
Oh,
picture
wow,
of
he really was that good.
Carrie sent
we
me
need
a
to put in a
picture
little
of her
work
and
to figure
Kathy.
out how to stop him.
So she
Kenny,
must be hanging out
next
with
year I think he
Kathy.
takes
I think
a
so.
slight step back, and
Thinking
then he
that-
recoils, and then he becomes
Hope you don't get
a
unfriended.
top 3 quarterback
Thinking
down the line.
she's-
So negative.
Thinks
He's
that
so
I've
negative.
been
He
replaced.
won't have a
Yep.
sophomore slump. How many
I
times I have
think
to
so.
tell you this? He is him. He will be him every year of his career.
Rico has the sensible opinion that has a greater percentage chance of being right than I do. I just side with David because I kept watching and waiting for people to catch up. Even when Tank Dell got hurt, who was his favorite receiver, it never changed. It never stopped.
Well, and also, but remember now, you went from the last place schedule to the first place schedule.
Right.
So they're going to be playing tougher teams.
Counterpoint, they're in the worst division of football. Saying if you win it, now here's what I'll say. If you win a division, you got a shot to be talked about as an MVP.
But, and that's what their NFC counterpart is, the NFC North. So the Lions, Packers, they're going to be playing. So it's going to be some good games.
And I'll tell you, the NFC North could be the best division of football next year.
Baker Mayfield will re-sign with the Bucs. The exec said basically that it doesn't make sense to grab one of the free agent QBs who wouldn't necessarily be a gigantic upgrade over him.
It's just, what do you pay? I also don't like that they just lost the OC to the Panthers. Baker, new OC, I don't know, man. You got to do it, but I have a feeling you might regret it.
I don't know, man, because I think that team, they like him. They respect him, and he's one of them. And it's kind of like how Goff has made his imprint here in Detroit, and it's now his team. Brady left you. Baker came in, and you got success. You won a playoff game. So, yeah, now if he goes in there asking for the world, no. It's like Russell Wilson. I'm not giving you that. But if you come in there with a good number, sure, I'll give you a 3-year deal, and let's see where we are. And if it doesn't work out, you have an option to go ahead and draft somebody later.
Let's end on a spicy one that I like. Kirk Cousins and Bill Belichick will be Falcons and win the NFC South.
I just don't know what the Belichick thing is. I'm starting to wonder if he even ends up coaching. I mean,
I'm with you. The longer this takes, the longer it tells me that there are people who don't want this to happen, because you see what happens. If you want to coach, you don't drive them to the airport. The Uber's late. Oh, sorry. I guess you got to stay for dinner now. Let's do. What will it take to solidify this deal? But Belichick, how many more interviews do you need? Now, Cousins, I think Cousins ends up staying in Minnesota because Minnesota found out,
life without him.
We can't just replace you with somebody good. We struggle without you. We went through a bunch of quarterbacks. Nick Mullins didn't work out.
I'll say this too. It's the golden rule. It's a hell of a lot harder to get better at QB than it is to get worse. Lion fans could really, you know what, write that on the chalkboard like Bart Simpson about 1,000 times before you waste my time slandering Goff again. Then listen to some of these broke bleep teams Kenny brings up.
And that is your NFL exec prediction blitz. Hungry Howie's knows there's nothing better than pepperoni pizza, but the question is, which pepperoni reigns supreme? Now, you got the crispy classic cupped pepperoni, you know, the satellite dishes, big fan. But why choose one when you get both? They got a pepperoni duo coming up. See, this is more up my alley right here. Pepperoni duo, you're getting the classic cup pepperoni, plus the original, plus 100% real cheese, unlike a lot of these other places around town. Fresh dough made daily, a large, $9.99 for that limited time only. More pepperoni, more flavor, less price. Everybody wins, under $10. Turns out the best type of pepperoni is just more. Get a large pepperoni duo, $9.99 only at Hungry Howie's.
This Odyssey.com Sports Minute
Rated
is
R.
brought to you by Northville Lumber.
This is Jim Rome with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Well, Philly fan, your coach survived. The ultimate Philly bro that's coaching your football team will continue to be the coach of your football team, even if the consequences of having an ultimate Philly bro coaching your football team became pretty evident this season. You know what else is pretty evident? Nick Sirianni has been stripped of most of his power and influence. I'm Jim Rome.
Oh no, your little one has caught a cold and has a cough. Help them feel better fast with DayQuil Kids from Vicks. It's specifically formulated just for kids, and it helps treat their most bothersome cold symptoms. It's also available in 2 delicious flavors, honey and berry. DayQuil Kids is the daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Pick it up at your local pharmacy or any major retailer today. For kids 6 and up, use as directed.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
Get the fuck out!
That's
Using the power of
X-rated.
TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
It's not right.
It's not right.
Save up to 80% when you file with TaxSlayer. Start for free.
Are you ready for some big news, Michigan? Drum roll, please. Teladoc Health is now covered by most major insurers in Michigan.